problems into the number of units called objects. We will understand this with an example. For example, consider the office department, account department and library department at your college. Here, the office department, account department, and library department represent objects. And each department maintains their own information, data and perform different activities which represent their functions. It is very simple to understand that in this example how we used object and function. Objects are the different departments in your college like the accounting department and library department. And function is the activities of these departments to perform some tasks. Next you can see here we have two objects that are the account department and the library department. The function of the account department is to maintain the fees and fine details of a student. And function of the library department is to maintain the information regarding issue details of books, availability of a book, status of a particular book. Let's discuss the basic concepts of the object-oriented programming approach. The first concept of an object-oriented programming approach is the object. Objects are used to represent an entity in the real world. The object can be person, place, car, book or anything. Each object has a unique identity, attribute that is properties and behavior. Objects are formed by binding data and functions together. Data plus function equals object. Next concept of object-oriented programming approach is class. When objects are grouped together, then we form a class. We can say a class is a group of objects. Next let us understand this with an example. For example, consider that object is any person. As we know that person has different attributes, or we can say properties like person name, person age, and gender, etc. The same way a person has a different behavior that is the function like walking, sleeping, eating, etc. We created a class here named person, and these show the attributes and behavior of the class. Next concept of object-oriented programming approach is encapsulation. Encapsulation mechanism keeps data safe from any external interference and misuse. Protects data of any class from a function which is outside a class. And the changes made in the data and function do not make any effect on other classes. For example, suppose we have two classes. First is library class. In library class, we can encapsulate data like book ID, book author, number of copies and function like book status. In the student class we can encapsulate data like roll number, class, name, address. Other basic concepts working behind object-oriented programming approach are an abstraction, polymorphism, dynamic binding, message passing, and inheritance. We will discuss these concepts in another video later. If you have any queries or feedback please comment below. Happy learning!